Yay! I got it
Ta-da!
right for the first time.
Yay! Love it. And that's how you paint Peppa Pig. Thank you guys for joining me today. It was
Okay.
such a pleasure painting for you. Did you have a good time, Art?
I did. You guys should come back next
Yeah?
time. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be painting something new next week. And hope you guys all had a great time. We'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Just kidding. This is leftover. We're not painting Peppa Pig today or
We're actually
ever.
going to destroy Peppa Pig today.
We are going to destroy Peppa Pig. Bye, later. This was actually my niece had a birthday party and she wanted to do a painting party. So I taught her and her friends how to paint Peppa Pig.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, this is my niece's painting. I don't want it anymore.
No. Yeah, just painting over hers. Sorry. Hi. Happy Monday. Hope everyone's doing good today. Art, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good? Oh,
Yeah.
good. Just saw. Sorry, I was trying to pop out the chat that was not working. There we go. How was your birthday?
It was good.
Good.
Sushi. I was telling Will that went to like the sushi place that we obviously haven't gone to restaurants in a long time, and we're like, let's see how it is. Let's see how if we're gonna feel okay. We went. They literally was 2 tables being served in the entire restaurant, and they were like, "Can we do the outside patio?" And there was no one outside. So we're like, because the option was like, we'll get food, we'll do to go and go to the park and have sushi at the park. I was like, no, we were just by ourselves in this giant patio area, and I was like, sweet.
I love that.
So it was fun.
Well, happy birthday. I'm so glad you had that. No, actually, today we're going to be painting a Deathly Hallows in Harry Potter inspired painting, as you can see up there, referring to the Always quote from Professor Snape. And so to get started right off the bat, before we even go over materials, I do want to make sure that we get our painting prepped. So I would say before you get started with everything else, take your largest brush and some black paint, and we're going to cover this whole painting or your whole canvas with black paint. Now, when I say canvas, you don't have to use canvas. If you don't have that available, paper, or if you're painting on an iPad or Surface Pro, whatever surface you have available to you, you're just going to cover the whole surface with black. Bye, Peppa. Bye. Bye. So I'm using a 16 by 20 inch canvas today. You can use any size that you want, any surface that you want. And we're just covering this up. Now, as you're painting this black, this is going to be our surface for our like galaxy star field that we're doing. You want to make sure that you're not over painting it with too much paint, because once you go black, it's not going to get any blacker, right? Just cover it with what you got. You don't want it to be too thick, too wet, too drippy. You really want to work the paint into the surface because we want this to dry pretty quickly, so that we could start adding some details on there.
So just enough to cover whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had no purpose for a leftover Peppa Pig painting, so I thought, I'm going to save some canvas, cover over that. What helps too when you're covering this large of an area is adding a little bit of water.
Yeah.
So with your supplies, make sure you have a water cup nearby. And I'm going to take a little bit of water, and that helps to break up the paint a little bit.
Well, I can talk about what I'm doing since I forgot my Apple Pencil, so can't paint. But instead, I'm gonna be Artsy Craftsy, and I'm gonna be working on a puppet. You can't see.
Oh no, we can't see him.
It's green. Anyways, I'm gonna be sewing. I figured I do something creative while.
Yeah, it's a creative artsy time. Even if you're not painting or drawing with us today, it's a good little hour and a half, 2 hour block where you can just kind of create something and chill out and relax.
Can you hear the music?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I can hear it. Who's here today? Let's see. Oh, hi, Terrence. Terrence Clark. Hello. You're a wizard, Harry. I find like I use that little blurb for everything. It's always like, you're a drag queen, Harry. Just toss it in there. And Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Reed Cooper. Hello. Hello, always and forever. Reed Cooper. And Corey. Hi, Corey. I knew someone was going to bring up the possibility of Peppa Pig porn, and Reed wins the award. So, way to go, Reed. I'm sure it exists. If you can think of it, it exists because someone else has already thought of it. Poor Peppa. I know. Peppa didn't stand a chance. Actually, Peppa had a very nice birthday party. She had her time. And now it's time for her to go away. So today, as you're painting this black, I want you to think ahead on what colors you might want to use for your Galaxy Starfield. You can see on the sample there's some kind of a tealy green and a blue and a purple, maybe like a reddish tone. You can use any colors that you want today. I'm going to stick with something close to that up there. But if you want to use colors specific to your own Hogwarts house, if you want to do red and gold in the background, or if you want to do green and gray for Slytherin, that'd be kind of cool. You can keep it a little ghostly or kind of along the theme with the Patronus painting that we did a few weeks back, and do like a kind of a blue, teal, white, icy color scheme. It's totally up to you.
You mean the painting where you looked at mine and burst out into laughter? That one?
No, I don't remember doing that. It's only because I didn't realize how far back you were on it. I thought you were much further along, but that's because you were working.
It was.
Yeah, I'm sure it looks really good. You went back to it and fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Reed's painting today. Nice.
Oh, cool. Reed says, in terms of digital, just black fill, or am I trying to make a black background? I think you can just.
No, you can just do black fill. That's fine.
It's just the base.
Yeah. And the reason we're doing it so quickly is because we want it to dry. If you are using paint. Skipping the normal.
I know we talked about Hogwarts houses before, but I don't remember what you said you were.
Yes, I am a Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Yeah. So, don't get a ton of story time or screen time, but I don't know. Every single test I take, it always comes up Hufflepuff. Although there was a little test at the, I want to say it was at the Warner lot in LA. They had like a little mini Harry Potter exhibit.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, I really liked that. But that one told me I was Gryffindor, but I have a feeling it tells everyone that it's Gryffindor.
No, it told me Slytherin.
Oh, it did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I just didn't buy it.
I snuck it. We snuck into that museum thing.
What? How?
Because I was working
it
on
wasn't
the lot
just
that
open?
day. And during lunch, a bunch of us were just like, let's wander around the lot for no reason. And hoping nobody questions us. And we just literally just were like, there was tour groups going in there like, we're just going to walk in. And
that's so funny.
They just let us in.
Nice. I went years ago. Like an ex-boyfriend of mine was a PA on the set or on the studio lot. So he snuck me in there one day.
Did you go when where the Wild Things are puppets were there?
No,
costume?
it was years before that.
Just before that. Okay.
Yeah, I would say maybe like 3 or 4 years before that movie came out.
Oh, okay. I went when the class was there. It was really cool because I happened to be with one of the guys who built those big costumes. So I had this little tiny private tour of like he broke everything down on how he built them and what they're made of, and
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really fun. MJO, hello, good evening. And Reed Cooper is going to do finger painting. This should be fine for finger painting because your nub is acting up. You should see a doctor about that.
Get some antibiotics for your nub.
It's acting up again. All right, so I'm going to let this dry.
Well,
and while I go ahead, what?
I say if Reed's gonna finger paint, I might try to finger paint and sew.
Yeah, you could do that. Finger paint with one hand and sew with the other. I'm sure it'll turn out great. One of them will turn out better than the other, so I hope that it's.
I hope it's a sewing.
I hope it's the sewing. Yeah, that needs to look good. I'm sure it's looking great already.
Looking all right.
From what I can tell, up against that green screen, it looks amazing. Yeah, that's gorgeous art. It looks so good.
I mean, if you could see it, it just looks like a big green blob. It's just it's a body.
Is it the body?
It's a body of it, yeah.
The body. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry before I move on to the next step. But as we're letting that dry, I am going to go through the rest of the materials just to make sure that we have what we need. I already mentioned before a cup of water. You're going to use this to wash off your brushes thoroughly in between colors, so make sure you've got this nearby. Also, make sure that you don't accidentally drink from that cup of water and instead have something to drink nearby. And I always put a lid on my drink just to make sure I don't accidentally dip my paintbrush in there. Next up, you will want a towel. I've got this towel here that's reusable and I just wash it when I'm done. But if you've got a paper towel or a napkin, that works just fine as well. Anything is fine. And also, you'll want to make sure that you have a towel nearby to make sure that you're not using too much water on your paintbrushes before you apply the paint to the canvas. Because if you do, the water will drip down the canvas and rip the paint off of it. So after you've washed your brushes out really well, dab it dry with the towel and then just get the paint as you normally would. And then speaking of paint brushes, I've got my standard 3 brushes that I usually bring along with me. So as long as you've got a large, a medium, and a small brush, you should be good to go. My large brush is a 1-inch flat brush. My medium-sized brush is a 1/2-inch flat brush. And then my small brush is a number 3 round for any little detail work that we're doing.
Connie just waved in the Discord, and I waved back to the monitor like an idiot.
Hi, Connie. And then next you'll want paint. So we've already used black paint. That's all the black paint that I'm going to use today is just to cover the surface. But you'll also want some white paint for the lettering and for the stars, of course. And then whatever colors you'll want to use for your kind of galaxy field. So I'm using 3 colors. I'm going to do violet purple, a phthalo green, which is kind of like a tealy blue-green, and then a brilliant blue, which is more of a standard, typical primary blue. But again, pick any colors that you want. I like the idea of doing the different houses. So Gryffindor would be red and gold, or Hufflepuff could be yellow and gray. Totally up to you. Yeah, I think that's it for materials. And then Ryan, thank you for reminding me. Of course, we do want to do a quick toast before we get started, because I think I forgot it last time. We just moved right along. But anyway, so we'll drink and we'll paint the best that we can. And if it don't turn out right, who gives a damn? Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, I think I forgot last time.
British Cooper asks, Art, can the nibs on Apple pens bend and be awkward? No, they're
I haven't noticed that.
No, they're hard plastic, so they don't bend or give in any way. It feels like
yeah,
it's like a pen. It feels like a pen. yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like a nib to me. It just feels like an extension of the solid piece of pen.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's just one long piece of plastic that doesn't, it doesn't feel separate or anything.
I love that Ryan called me Sir Robert. I'll take it. Sir Robert. Hello. Manly Mutt, this is totally something that you could paint. This is a nice, easy, fun, relaxing one. I love to do galaxy paintings because you could really use the same technique as a base and then put whatever you want on it and totally make it your own. Oh, wait, no, Manly Mutt says just all black, totally my level of art. Well, yeah, if you want to do like, it's modern art. It's just solid black and you call it despair or something like that. Done. Reed Cooper wants to know what we're talking about today, and Terrence suggests Star Wars, since last week we were talking about not Superman, but Christmas movies. So totally up to you guys.
I mean, I will talk about Star Wars all the time.
Endlessly. Speaking of Star Wars, check out what I made over the weekend. I'm in love with it.
Oh, cool.
So much fun. I don't even know how they even engineered this thing, but as I was building it, I was just like gasping every time I put pieces together. I was like, oh, wow, that's doing that, and now that's circular, and whoa, it's rounded. I was being a big nerd about it. Super fun.
How many pieces was it?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even know how many pieces it was.
Oh, okay.
You know, it wasn't a lot. There were 5 bags of pieces.
Okay.
I was expecting more. And it has kind of like a scaffolding interior before you start building up around it. So it wasn't too bad. Reed says, Trump isn't president. The wars are over. They never happened. Go Space Force. Good job. No, I don't want to talk about that. But I will I will toast to that, definitely. And Manly Mutt says there was an art off between me and a monkey once. The monkey won. Oh, I'm sorry. What did you paint? Or was it just art? Like, were you trying to do something and then the monkey just ended up throwing things at something and it turned out beautiful? Now MGA was calling me Sir Robert. Is that my sign on now? I need to change my name to Sir Robert. All right, let's see. So just to test if it's dry yet, I just kind of tap in what look like the still kind of wet spaces. There's a couple on there. But that's okay. The rest of it's pretty dry. It's not too tacky. So it's pretty good. All right, so next what we're gonna do, actually, let me grab my other brush real quick. I grabbed my little bristle brush too. This is a little stubby, kind of chunky, messy bristle brush. I like using this for my galaxy paintings because it's so organic in its shape and it's kind of rough and it could take the tapping. It also helps to not ruin some of my other smaller brushes. Yeah. Even though these nice brushes are so sad. Reed Cooper says, speaking of art, I've been binging the new Punky Brewster and felt old and young, like art. I haven't seen any of the new Punky Brewster, but I did watch Kid 90, her documentary that's on Hulu. Mm-hmm. And it was really good and really sad at the same time. It felt weird watching as someone in their late 30s who's probably a little bit younger than Punky Brewster, but still really loved the show. Just seeing how all those kids kind of grew up together and the sad lives and how they overcome it. But it's good. It's a good watch. Oh no, Reed says you can still see Peppa's nose. Where? Oh, up there.
Did you see the
Not for long.
the Fresh Prince reunion show.
Oh, the reunion. Yeah, I did.
That was really good. I really liked it.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. I wasn't sure if I was going to, but then it reminded me how much I loved the show as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really cool. Oh, Punky Brewster is 44.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I thought she was somewhere around there. I knew she was older than I was. Okay, so let's get started now that it's pretty much dry. I'm going to start with my green tone first. And I'm going to put some paint right on my brush. You got to make sure when you're doing this technique that your brush is dry. I got some paint on there, and I'm going to put some green right around here. And I'm just very loosely tapping that on there. And building up some of those color forms out there. Now, if you want to brighten it up a little bit, you can also add some white, depending on how dark your pigment is to begin with. Get it? Pigment?
Oh no.
Also, speaking of Discord, you can join us on our Perception Paints Discord. And if you're painting along with us, you can also join us at Perception Paints Share, which you said Connie's on there, right? Is Ryan on there tonight too?
Ryan's on there tonight.
Nice.
There they are.
Ta-da! That way you can share along your progress and show us how you're doing. It's a great way for me to take a look too if you want me to see. Take a look at how you're doing and help you out if you need it. So you can see I'm adding a little bit of white in there. And that's just to brighten up my green a bit. Art, that was the perfect like fade out because the two of them looked over and kind of toasted their drinks and then it just went back to the screen. It was really cute. There we go. Oh, Reed Cooper went to college with Punky Brewster or Soleil Moon Frye. That's pretty cool. So you can see I'm really tapping the white into that green. And I'm mixing it on the canvas. And a lot of you know I like to do that because it helps to keep the paint mix organic. It's not so solid and flat in color or texture. This way you get a little bit of a high tone and a low tone as you're mixing the colors in there. Now that said, it may have gone a little too solid here, a little too bright, which is okay. I can always go back on top of it with some black to pull some of that color away. I don't want it to be too bright because I want the white to really stand out against that too. Reed says, unfortunately, the screen share over Wi-Fi on Discord while running this doesn't work well. Yeah, I did realize that early on. Sometimes it's tough. Because I was watching for a while too, and then realized it was really kind of killing my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot of issues with sharing on Discord because, like, some I won't get some of the feeds. Like, luckily,
Right.
Ryan and Connie has been okay, but a few other times, I've sat here and just watched the little thing turn and never load a video in.
Yeah. All right. So next, I'm going to add some blue. I'm not even washing my brush out because the green is in the same blue family, so it's okay that they're mixing a little bit. And I'm going to take a little tap of white. Just a little bit on there. Again, I don't want to go too light with it because I really want the white lettering to stand out. So the blue I'm going to let live kind of along the outside edge. Don't be afraid to let this go right over the edge of the canvas, too. Reed Cooper, were you and Soleil in a few classes together? Or you guys just went to the same school? Tell us more. I want the tea. I want to know all about it.
I know I recommended it in the last stream, but if you weren't watching the last stream, I'm gonna recommend you guys watch In and of Itself on Hulu. This is really good. I want everyone to watch it.
I still have to watch that. You said Hulu, right?
Hulu, yeah.
I keep forgetting to watch that.
I had to go and it's amazing.
And you and Amber saw that live too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to add that. I love magic. It's so fun. Necrofilm said, "Okay, that sounded like the Ewok village for a second." Oh, the music.
Oh, the music.
Background music is a little Ewok-y. Reed Cooper says, "I legit can't remember. She just started going to Eugene Lane at the same time as me. I saw her on campus. Got too scared to ask her out because she's punky." Oh, you saw her on campus, right? That's so funny. She dropped out halfway through the semester to go play a college student on Sabrina.
Oh, man.
Necrophil says the brush tapping. I know. Sorry. It's a very aggressive painting today.
By the way, if you guys ever want to listen to the music that we listen to, if you find it relaxing and you enjoy it, it's by Stream. It's called Stream Beats by Harris Keller. You can find them on YouTube. I mainly play it off of YouTube and they have the lo-fi. I play the lo-fi playlist. But you can also listen on Spotify and Apple Music. All his music is on there. And if you're a streamer, it's all copyright free, so you guys can stream it.
I'm gonna have to check it out because I actually listen to a lot of music while I'm working.
Yeah.
Just in the background, and I typically have this kind of stuff on there. Julia Roberts was going to the school at the time as well in the adult programs. Interesting. She wasn't just doing research, trying to figure out how to be a college student as a woman in her 50s. All right, so I'm gonna wash off my brush now that I've got the green and the blue on there before I use the purple. Darren says, this is an ASMR painting. Yeah, totally.
Oh,
Next, what I'm going to
Necrofilm
do is
says,
clean
I
off the
think I'm
brush.
confusing you. The brush tapping sounded like the percussion of the Ewoks.
Oh. Oh yeah, because it's got that little bit of a, you get kind of a drum sound with the canvas, and then the, nice, with the pan flute in the background.
That helps.
Da 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 da. I love it. This is totally ASMR painting. I've just washed off my brush, and now I'm going to paint with purple. Oh, I should have opened that right next to the microphone. Purple. All right, so same thing as the purple with the rest of the colors. I'm going to take the paint on my little brush there. And then I'm also going to grab just a tap of white paint to brighten it up ever so slightly.
Did you get any of the new amiibo cards they released?
No, the Sanrio, right?
The Sanrio ones, yeah.
I didn't, but I have coins that I had made like years ago when they first released them with not New Horizons. What was it? New Leaf. When they first released in Japan, and then they released cards, I had someone make coin versions of the amiibo for me. So they're like Etsy black market, but they still work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be so hard to get the Target order in, and it was impossible. And now they're selling for like $300 on eBay. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because they're just cards. They could have printed massive amounts of them and just made them available for everybody to buy.
I also don't. It makes me feel bad for the little kids who really want them.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing for adult collectors to be like, oh, this is really neat. I like Hello Kitty, so I kind of want to play along with it. But I think of those poor little, like, 6-7-year-old kids who just want, like, a Kurobi, like, player in their Animal Crossing village, and they can't have it because some asshole decided to buy 6 packs at 12 different Targets so that he could sell them on eBay.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
And they could mitigate that by just making so many of them that it makes it impossible for those people to make any money online.
Yeah, make it obsolete so that no one cares. Like, just, I don't get it. I feel like Nintendo's always had a hard time with their amiibo. Mm-hmm. Really, right off the beginning, it was really difficult to find any of them because each store would have maybe 5 tops. And so you'd have to wait in the morning to get the one that you wanted.
Yeah.
If there was a new release. It's a little bit better now because I think most people don't care about them as much. But yeah, it sucks. Oh, Reed Cooper's asking me to do math about Julia Roberts' age. I'm sorry, I don't know. That was just a statement. I have no idea how old she was and how old she is now. And it's in no way a statement of your age, because I have no idea how old you are.
It's okay. Ryan's art major too, and he can't do math either.
It doesn't. When I say it does not compute, it actually does not compute.
It refuses
I can't.
to.
Yeah, can't do it. So yeah, I didn't get the new cards, but I do have the little coins, and they work just as well. And so I brought in the little villagers and the cute little items. They're really cute, like house items, like little rugs and shit like that. So
I think we're gonna have to end up doing that. We might have to get coins or something, or grab the files from the internet.
Yeah. The coins are easy and they're kind of cute. People do cards too. They'll do like reproductions of the cards, or what I like even better is you'll get artists who do their own artwork of the characters and then create cards with their own artwork on it. It's really cool. Oh, cool. I actually would have done that, but they weren't around when I bought the coins. The coins were like the only option years ago.
Yeah.
But that said, if anyone wants
little coins of the bunch of the new ones, the recent ones.
Oh, you did? You guys made them yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
I have to show you. I'm gonna take pictures of them and show you.
Yeah. How did you guys make them? Do you have like a certain, like, is it a computer code thing, or I don't know how they do it?
We bought NFC little chips that look like they're about the size of a quarter.
Yeah.
And then we bought little containers, little cases for coins, for like so that it's about the size of a quarter, so they actually fit perfectly inside. So we just there's apps that let you program the NFC cards. So you just program them with your phone. You tell the file, select the file, and then the iPhone writes the NFC code onto the little coin. And then
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Pretty easy to do.
Remember when Animal Crossing first came out and you guys were borrowing my amiibo cards?
Yeah.
I love that.
It was soon after that we're like, we could just do this ourselves.
Nice. But yeah, that said, if anyone wants some cute Sanrio Animal Crossing furniture, find me on Switch and I'll send you some cute little things. Happy to share. If you want to borrow the coins for a little bit or something too, just let me know. Or ask Art and Amber because they're making their own.
So I'm working with a new type of fleece for these puppets, and I don't know if I'm enjoying it.
What's new about it? Is it a different texture or thickness?
So the fleece that's been traditionally used for puppets it's called Antron. Even though what Antron used to be is not really existent. It's like fake Antron. It's been used for a long time. So the current batch of what exists now, there's been a little bit of like a hard time dyeing it. At least the company that I buy it from is one of the major companies that a lot of people buy it from. When they got the fleece from the manufacturers, it started dyeing weird. Like I don't know how they changed their manufacturing, where it would pick up the dye in different ways throughout. So it wasn't consistent. It wouldn't consistently pick up the dye evenly. So you would get these weird lines across it. So they had to go source out new types of fleece. And they've sourced out two types of fleece. Because the old one is a nylon fleece. This is a polyester fleece, and it's weird. And then there's something called Fuzel that I haven't tried yet. But this fleece is weird. It kind of feels like a one-sided polar fleece. I don't know if that makes sense. Like
it does. Like they focused the comfy, yummy texture on one side of it.
One side, on the other side is flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it acts weird. Like there's a stitch that you do to hide the seams. You might call it, it's called the Henson stitch some places, but it's a ladder stitch. It's used a bunch of other stuff, and it's just weird. I don't know if I like how it works.
That's frustrating. Is there a reason that you're using that new one? Just because it's difficult to source the rest of it?
Because it's difficult to source the other stuff. I also didn't want to buy my own fleece and try to dye it. So basically, when I needed colors for this project, I just bought whatever fleece had the color that I needed. So I went to the website and they have a bunch of colors, and I was like, I need a green one. It's in this fleece. If they, so I just took whatever fleece they had in the color that I needed. So I just bought it. But it's my first time using this fleece, and it's a little weird getting used to it. Some people really like it, so I think it's just might be time for me to just play with it. And I know at least I have one friend who is like, Andy Hayward.
Yeah.
I don't think he likes this fleece at all either, and I trust his opinion because he's a fantastic
totally
builder.
Andy's amazing. Hi Andy, if you're listening.
Oh, he worked on that new puppet thing with
Mochi and with
Michelle Obama.
With the First Lady,
yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but it looks so cute, and people are loving the show. I
haven't seen it either, but it looks good, and
I'm excited.
Did you meet Michelle Zamora when she was at Disney Junior for a little bit?
It sounds familiar, or she sounds familiar rather, but
yeah, she's
I can't
the main.
picture.
I think she's the main builder or puppeteer on that show. She's a LA-based puppet builder, and she's really nice. I met her. She worked at Disney for like a hot second. She was there just a few months, and then moved on.
Yeah, I may have missed her. I left in 2006.
And when did you start?
2004. I actually wasn't there very long, unfortunately.
You might have just missed her then, because I think she got hired in late 2003 and probably left early 2004.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be surprised if she worked there for 6 months.
Reed's being salty. That's okay, Reed. I just don't do math. I'm just teasing you. It's fine. Necrofilm's asking if the colors matched per batch of the fleece that you got.
If
you got multiple batches of green or blue, if they matched in between.
They're the company that I buy stuff. They're pretty good about matching their colors. So usually, if they've made a color, they can replicate it. But like anything, if you need an exact replica, it's hard to get it from batch to batch. But for the most part, for most cases, I think you'd be able to get it to match from them specifically.
Right. So now what I'm doing is I'm going back in with areas that maybe are a little too bright and heavy with my pigment, and I'm going in with some black paint and just bringing in some of the black back into it, breaking up some of those colored spots. I'm going to do this sparingly because I don't want to lose some of the cool textures that I've created with the color, but I also want to make sure it just doesn't look like a flat marbled painting either. So wherever you're seeing kind of heavy spots, you can fill in just a little bit of black there. Waffles and Mochi, that's what it's called. Yeah, I want to see that. It looks super cute. The character design is really cute. Like the puppets look like, they don't look like puppets I've seen before, but they're still very relatable and cute.
Yeah, I don't know how much
saccharine.
Michelle it was involved in terms of the designing, but her style has always been like really different. Her puppets are always have she has a very interesting style that I really like. Reach Kuba says, what do you think about the upcoming puppet show that is also sort of CG stop motion?
Is that the new one on Nickelodeon that you guys were talking about on Cinephilia?
I don't know. I don't know which one
That's the only puppet show I know of, other than Waffles and Mochi, that's coming up soon. Do you know what it's called, Reed Cooper?
Yeah, do you know what it's called? I'll look it up.
Typically, I don't like when the puppetry is like the CGI mix. Like when you start getting into Dinosaur Train territory where it's like puppetry but not really. Or not Dinosaur Train, what is it? Sid the Science Kid, where it's like kind of puppet, but it's still animated, and I don't love that. But if you're talking about that Nickelodeon series, that actually looks kind of cool.
The Barbarian and the Troll. Yeah,
is that it?
I don't know if it's that. That was what he's talking about, but I like that. That looks fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. It'll be fun. All right, let me see. It looks pretty good. Necrofilm says the Alien Talk Show. Oh, that's Ned.
Oh, the Alien Talk Show. Yeah, Ned.
I don't know what the rest of the show is called, but
the one
on Disney Plus.
Earth to Ned or something.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. The puppet's
or
gigantic and really cool looking.
Yeah, isn't it like 6 puppeteers behind that thing? Each person gets an arm or something.
Yeah, and there's it's like animatronic. Have you seen him do syllables? Because he mouths syllables like he makes mouth shapes and everything.
The lips are moving, and it reminds me of dinosaurs, like the dinosaur heads, but like 20 years later. So the technology is just amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks so real. Barbarian and the Troll. I wasn't sure if we were supposed to like it or not.
No, that one looks fun.
Hey, if it's good work, whether it's, technically competing or not, I would say, it's like D&D inspired, but it's not the same thing.
No.
As Felt Friends.
Literally nobody does what we do, and I have not seen anybody want to do anything that we do. Most puppeteers run away from the idea of having to puppet 2.5-hour shows. They're like, nope, thank you.
Well, I can imagine your arm dying after. Well, let's see. Playhouse Disney was what, a 15-minute show, if
20,
that?
20 something. 22, 20, 20
22 minutes.
23 minutes, yeah.
And we had breaks kind of built in there in between tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were like track 1, you would do it for a little bit and then take a break during the next bit to come back later on. Unless you were Bear, and then you just got to take breaks during the whole thing, which wasn't so bad.
Just sat in a room with a fan.
Oh, Bear in the Big Blue House. So fun. Terrifying, but fun. So scary to be in that giant camera-led goggle thing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oof.
I got to put on the suit once a year. I walked around in it for like 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, I'm good for the whole year. I will try this again next year.
But did you like walk around like on the stage at all?
No,
with it?
I walked around in the house. Just the
Oh
fun.
yeah,
Like,
where there's no danger of falling into a trapdoor and killing yourself.
Yes.
Good. Seriously, Art, I that's one of maybe 3 times where I've been so scared. Was when I first got into that costume on the stage, and I'm like trying to make sure I'm not going to step into a hole and fall into it. It was so scary, but so
Did you
fun.
work with Brent Gallivan?
I think so. Yeah.
He used to scare the crap out of me because he would, you know, when you would at second half of the show, when you'd come back in, you'd like walk over to the front trap and talk to Tutter.
Right.
He would stomp at full speed, go do 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 do, and stop right before the hole. And he would do that on purpose because he would scare me when I was Tutter. I would yell. He would scare me because I thought he fell in. And then one time, I don't know if that was the time. There was one time where he was blind. I don't remember the reason why, but he stepped into the trap, full foot into the trap. I caught his foot and gently placed it back on the stage. I was like, and I think he noticed that his foot wasn't on the stage, so he didn't put his whole weight on it, but it was definitely like he realized it, and I was like, nope. And put it back on stage. It was terrifying.
When Art says go blind, he means inside this giant bear puppet, there's a camera on the end of your fingers that control the mouth. And that's all you've got. So you're directing where you're looking with this little camera.
Yeah.
On the edge of Bear's mouth. Yeah, wearing like VR style video goggles. It's definitely limited vision. It's super scary, but it's so cool and fun. But going blind means that for whatever reason, the camera's been disconnected or the feed isn't working.
Yeah.
So you're literally like walking around in darkness, like trying to remember where you're going.
With holes
but
in the ground.
thankfully, with holes in the ground with puppets sticking out of it randomly. It's scary, but thankfully the audio systems work pretty well in there too. I'd never had a situation where I would go blind and deaf, which means like the audio would cut out.
Yeah.
Thankfully, because otherwise then Bear would just stand there like, can't do
Somebody
anything.
came and got you.
I can't see, I can't hear, someone save me. The live actors were always nice though. They were always helpful and very aware of what was going on. There were only a couple times where I was like, oh God, someone help me please. Like in Vader. I never got to wear Vader. What was Vader like? Was there a camera in that too? Or was it just limited vision?
Like Darth Vader?
The Vader costume. Yeah, at Disney.
No, he just sees through the eyes.
Yeah. I'm sure very limited too.
Yeah, it's like wearing dark sunglasses.
Yeah, that would be tough. Especially when you've got like 300 3-foot kids running around you at your ankles trying to hit you with lightsabers. All right, so this should be pretty close. A couple little spots here and there. Yeah, okay. So for this next step, we're going to draw out the Deathly Hallows. Ooh, Reed's been a mascot.
For what?
Yeah, it's pretty hellish. Yeah, tell us. Tell us. I was a bunch of Disney characters. I was like 16 of them. All the tall ones that you could think of. But I want to know what you were doing, Reed. Necrofilm says, I wore one pieces together via 501st. Oh,
Oh, cool.
nice. Okay, so for the next part with the Deathly Hollows, we're going to draw the triangle first, and then that's going to show us where the circle goes in the center, and then the line in the center of that. So what I did was I took a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I just kept folding it because I don't have a 12-inch ruler at home. All of my rulers are like 16, 18 inches, of course. So I've created my own little kind of straight edge, but really anything that you have nearby that'll work is totally fine. And I'm going to use this as my guide. And I'm going to sketch this on with a pencil first, just so I can see where the line is before I commit to it with paint. Oh my gosh. Reed Cooper was a Care Bear.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Were you Cheer Bear? Cheer Bear is the little pink one, right? Or Grumpy Bear? The little blue one. Necrofilm says the lenses would fog up in rehearsal, but the little fans would clear it up. Oh, it's nice that there's fans inside. Bear didn't have any fans inside.
If you want to know, no Disney character has fans inside.
No.
No.
Are you kidding? They would never spend the money on something like that.
They mentioned got people ice vests.
Really?
Yeah. More recently, people wear ice vests. Connie's
That's pretty cool.
wait, hold on. I need you to see Connie's face. There you go.
The ice vests weren't doing it.
Yeah, they got ice vests.
All right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to find a spot about 2 or 3 inches from the top and toward the center of my painting. And I'm going to get in front of the camera in just a second, just to make sure it's level. Okay. And I'm going to draw a line down with my pencil. Again, you probably won't see this line on the feed because it's pencil line against a dark paint. But if you're following along with me, you'll be able to see it on your own painting. And you want it to be about 11 inches, 12 inches long, up and down. That's going to be your guide there. And then I'm going to hold my straight edge horizontal and kind of find the center of my canvas there. Make sure it's level. Okay.
Necrofilm, you know how we dealt with fogged up glass lenses in our costumes at Disney? We spit on them.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. There were tons of tricks.
They gave us anti-fog juice. It didn't really work. So I ended up just spitting on them and rubbing my spit into the lenses.
I don't think I even got like anti-fog stuff. They were like, here's your Woody head, fend for yourself. Okay, so I've got the line down the center and I've got the line on the bottom. Now what I'm going to do is from the bottom edge, I'm actually going to turn this in to meet my line on the center. Now it's not going to come all the way up to the top, and we don't want it to because we actually want our triangle to be even on all 3 sides. So it's going to come by a little bit shorter than the line that we drew in the center. And if you're doing this digitally on an iPad or something, there are tools that will create triangles for you. Feel free to use them.
No shame.
I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. No, not at all. All right, so from the bottom, and then I'm going to bring it in to meet that center line. You can do this with a ruler too, but again, I don't have them.
Have you seen the redesign Woody head? Woody and Buzz?
Yeah, they did Woody, Buzz. They did Jessie too, didn't they?
And yet Jessie, yeah. They look
Yeah.
really cute. I like them a lot.
They look really cute. They look so much more like the characters now and not just like branded costumes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really happy with them because the character heads that they had, well, actually they did the whole costumes.
The whole costume, the whole costume. Because the Woodies are now shorter height, and I think Buzz is chipmunk height now.
Oh, interesting.
And I think
because Buzz was Pluto, right?
Pluto, yeah, and I think Woody is Pluto now.
That's so weird.
Or like Tigger, maybe.
No, that makes sense. Because you still want Woody to be a little bit taller.
Yeah. But I can't wait till I see a chipmunk height Buzz Lightyear. It's gonna be so cute.
I know. That's gonna be so cute. It's gotta be a pain to fill though, to schedule that. I feel like the chipmunks were always tough. There were a ton of Plutos everywhere.
Because there's hardly any costumes for that height.
Yeah. That's so funny. No, I loved them. I thought they were so cute. The costumes that they had before were from like 93 or something, right? Like when the movies first came out, they never redesigned them.
Yeah, same costume.
And Jessie always needed some help with her like which way eyes. They were always going somewhere different.
Jacob.
All right, so there's my triangle. I'm gonna go ahead and paint this in with white so you guys can see where we're at. I'm gonna use my middle-sized brush. And get some white paint. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I'm reading the chat. Necrofilm was just blurred with the vision. It's so frustrating because you can't really like rub your eye and get rid of it. You just have to like. Yeah. Some of the costumes, the bigger costumes, like Sully from Monsters Inc. or Beast, you could actually pull your hand out of the hand and kind of wipe the lenses out.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was fogged, it was just going to get fogged again. There was nothing you could do about it. Amber said my Patrick from SpongeBob costume that I wore half fan, but I didn't use it. Wait, what? Amber, you were Patrick from SpongeBob?
She's been doing she's been working with a company that does like corporate events and stuff like that.
How fun.
Occasionally she's done what she was doing. Like the last Comic-Con that we saw. That's for Comic-Con, right, Amber? You were Patrick? Or you were Squidward? I forget what she was. I went to see her.
That's so cool.
Comic-Con.
The fans are squirrel fans. They don't provide cool air. Yeah, it just moves the air around. The air is still warm and humid and gross in there.
Oh, never mind. She was hosting at Comic-Con.
All right, so I've got a little bit of white on my middle-sized brush, and I'm just going to create the thin lines first, following along with the lines that I drew as my guide. And at this point, your background is probably dry as well, so you can actually, to keep a steady hand, because I've got a little shaky hand too, you can rest your pinky along the painting as you go, just to kind of steady your brush as you go. Just take your time with it. Necrofilm, what kind of Darth Vader choreography was there?
Like choreography,
like,
or like blocking, like move where you were.
No, Vader was straight up whipping Nene all over. He whips his mask back and forth.
I don't know why this story just popped in my head, but there was so me, Danny, and Amber used to work for this company. I know we've talked about going to Germany and places like that, and so they have these costume puppets, and they also have custom character versions of them. And I refused to do the costume character part. I was like, nope, I'm here to puppeteer. So I never got to do it, except for one time where I was asked to do it. It's like, hey, could you? I was like, okay, I'll do it as a favor this time. And the costume was owned not by us, by the company. It was owned by the place, by the bank that we were going to. But it was our characters. And apparently, so this was like in November. Apparently, 4th of July, they used the costume and then didn't clean it, just used it out in the sun all day, and then just put it in its box completely away. Just put it away, never open it up again. So
like didn't clean it afterward or
Didn't
anything.
clean it, didn't air it out, didn't do anything to it.
Oh.
So, and I didn't open it. So we finished the show with a puppet show. At the end of the show, the boss was talking for the kids, and then, while I would get dressed in the costume, would come out and meet the kids. I didn't open the box till there was time to get dressed, and as soon as I opened it and I lifted up the costume pieces, they were covered in mold, like horrendous amounts of mold. It was horrible.
I mean, that's like mushrooms at
Yes.
that point.
And the weird thing is, like, I couldn't, for half a second, I was like, well, I gotta go. Jill's gotta go happen. And then, thankfully, my rational brain kicked in and went, no, this is not a good idea. Don't put it out. Don't go out there with this. So I ended up going, nope.
So I was gonna say, so you ended up wearing it anyway.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't.
That's awful. There were some terrible things about those Disney costumes. They weren't nearly as clean as they should have been
Yeah.
all the time, but I never encountered mold in a costume.
No, yeah, they at least were able to make sure that didn't happen.
Yeah.
No, it's just because they used it, got all super sweaty, and then just put it in a box and never opened it up again for 6 months.
Ugh. That's awful.
It was awful.
That said, I did really enjoy all the fun mascot-y type stuff.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was a fun job. The kids were always happy. The parents were always shitty, but I had a nice time. I think the last time I did anything even close to that, when I was designing Halloween costumes with Palamon, we had just gotten the license for Rick and Morty, so I designed an inflatable pickle costume, like for Pickle Rick.
Yeah.
And then I decided to wear it to WonderCon and Comic-Con that year. So I was just running around as Pickle Rick with a big Palamon sign, like, hey!
That's awesome.
It was really fun. It took me back. I was like, okay, I remember how this feels. It was fun. I had my friend Jessica come as my handler and make sure everything was okay.
We've talked about making Chunk and Cucumber character costumes for us to walk around a convention with, and then make him articulated head so we can still talk.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a big project.
That would be such a pain in the ass, but it would be
It's so much fun.
amazing. That would be so cool. I love that idea. Okay, so we've got the line in the center, which is the wand, right? And then we've got the triangle, which signifies the, not the cape. Elder Wand, not the cape. Please help me. It's the cloak of invisibility, right?
Yeah.
And then the circle is the stone. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've seen these movies or read them. The stone is it the Sorcerer's Stone? No. Someone help me out. What is this circle stone in the center? I know Amber knows.
Yeah, but is she still here? Did she give up on us?
So I'm gonna use my pencil again just to sketch out the circle.
The Elder Wand, the cape, and the...
I want to say the Sorcerer's Stone.
Maybe it is the Sorcerer's Stone.
I feel like it was a full circle moment. And they came back to the Sorcerer's Stone in the end.
Amber says Resurrection Stone?
Yes. Yeah.
What's
Right.
a Resurrection Stone? Oh, Resurrection
No,
Stone.
Resurrection. Yes. Thank you, Amber. Okay, so I've got the circle in there. I'm going to go back to my middle-sized brush. Oh, Dead Boy No 2, the Stone of Resurrection. Thank you, gang. I knew someone would know it. I started rereading them through audiobooks on my commutes to the office.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to book 5. Yeah. And then COVID hit, so I haven't listened to any of my audiobooks since then.
I kind of do miss that about having a commute. Being able to sit and listen to podcasts and audiobooks.
Yeah, it was a nice kind of alone time. There's something about the commute where it's just... There was a little chill time on the way to work, and then there's also the decompression time on the way home, which was nice.
Yeah, my current commute is like 7 minutes to the studio, so it hasn't. I try to listen to podcasts, but I listen to them in like 6 to 7 minute bursts. Dead Boy says Jim Dale is such a good narrator. Yeah, I love Jim Dale.
So good.
It's so
good.
My favorite is his Hermione voice. Is my favorite. Because he doesn't try to do a girl voice, but he has the like attitude and the attitude and the personality down. It's great.
I love his Harry.
Harry.
But Harry. So funny. All right, so my Stone of Resurrection is a little wobbly, but that's okay. I can go back in there and clean up some of the lines, thicken it up a little bit.
It's very how you say, very Mandalorian.
Ah, nice. How you say? I'll tell you how you say. Everything comes back to Mandalorian.
Never forget.
Never forget. So good. Yeah, it's more like a resurrection egg. Hey Trixie. Hi. Hello. Yeah, Jim Dale is amazing. I've listened to a lot of audiobooks. I like Jim Dale a lot. I also liked Will Wheaton. I wasn't sure if I was going to, but he did Ready Player One, and that was really good.
I like that.
Yeah. And then I listened to it. It was like, I don't even know, like a 22-hour book or something like that. It was long. And it was Steve Weber, I want to say. And there were times where it was like, but then other times it was like actually pretty good.
Yeah, I tried reading the Jim Henson autobiography or doing the audiobook. It was so boring.
Who did that one?
I don't know. Some guy that was incredibly boring. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen when you try to do puppet voices because
yeah,
I gave up. I couldn't do it.
I was actually listening to Dune while we were doing the Dune book club, and I really liked it at first because they would actually have full actors doing doing it as if it were script. But then they would stop doing that sometimes.
Yeah, they would only do it whenever there was back and forth. Whenever there was a part where it was a lot of dialogue back and forth, that's when they would do the actors.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I'd be listening to it and I'm like, okay, I know that this female character is talking right now, but why am I not hearing the female character's voice? That totally makes sense.
Although the newer Star Wars books do that. They have full productions with sound effects and actors and everything. Those are fun to listen to.
I got the Ahsoka, one of the Ahsoka books. I'm going to start listening to that soon.
That one's fun. I like that one.
Yeah, I've got a backlog too.
I
do love his McGonagall's good.
The new High Republic one, but I stopped. I just need to go back to it. I wasn't terribly into it, but I didn't hate it. I just think I need to spend more time on it.
Okay, so I've got my Deathly Hallows there. And then next is to write our little quote. You actually don't have to put always if you don't want to, but it's totally up to you. Kind of goes along with our Harry Potter theme today.
Harry.
Harry! I used to tease one of my coworkers named Harry. So yeah, this was in reference to Snape and Dumbledore. Like, I think Snape was sad, cry at one point, probably thinking about his lost love, Lily Potter. And then Dumbledore said, after all this time, and then Snape says, always. Of course, Amber, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Snape and Lily, that's what I thought. And it's kind of been a Alan Rickman attributed phrase too. Like I think after he passed, everyone kind of said that in response to Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
He shows his Patronus. Oh yes, Terrence, thank you. Because his Patronus is it a doe? No. Well, Stag is Harry's and his father's.
Oh, so something like that. Like
I think it's a doe, or Snape's is a doe in honor of Lily. So I think something like that. Dead Boy says Jim Dale doing Gilderoy Lockhart. Harry, Harry, Harry! It is a doe. Yes, thank you.
And Amber says Lily also said it to Harry, I think.
Oh, during one of their mirror moments. So when it comes to hand lettering with paint specifically, take your time, do one letter at a time. But what I also like to do is I start with my middle letters first, and that sounds kind of weird, but it helps with spacing. Sometimes it's difficult to start here with the A and then build it out as you go, and it maybe stops short of center, or you make it too big and then you don't have enough room to write the rest of the letter or letters or the word. So I like to start with my center letters first, which would be W and A, and then it helps to space out. So if I have a W and an A, then I have the Y and the S, and then the L and the A over here. And just kind of build it out little by little. And I'm just going to paint it freehand because it doesn't really have to look any certain way. Just take your time with it. Let me get my palette real quick. You also don't have to do this in a script cursive font either. If you want to do this more of a like a standard capital letters or a sans serif or anything like that, feel free. Or you can write something totally different if you want to write your own Harry Potter themed quote. Dead Boy's favorite book is the third, which is that Azkaban? Prisoner of Azkaban? It's a good one.
It's the best one. It's also the best movie.
That's the one with where they really kind of start getting dark, and I really liked it.
Yeah. Some people hate it. Done.
You know what?
Weird.
I don't hate any of them. I love them all, books and movies.
Yeah.
The only one I struggle with is the fifth one, which I want to say is Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, Order of the Phoenix is like, eh.
I struggle with it because I'm so angry with shit. What is her character's name? The pink lady.
Oh,
Why can't I think of her name?
Somebody will tell us in a minute.
Yeah, I try to push her out of my mind because she it just infuriates me.
She's so good.
Yeah, I know she's really good at it.
It starts with a T.
It starts with a T.
Trunbull?
Trunbull. No, that's from Matilda. That's the
Umbridge.
evil headmistress. Umbridge, yes.
Umbridge.
It's Umbridge. Thank you, Terrence. Dolores Umbridge. Thank you, Necrofilm. I knew someone would know it.
He wanted me to pull his up on his painting he finished.
Oh, nice.
He said, done. It went weird. No, not that. Hold on. Nope. Okay.
Ooh.
Do it this way.
Interesting. All right, so you have to tell us what you did. What was your inspiration behind that?
Hammer says, 5 took me a year to read because I couldn't stand how angst a 15-year-old Harry was at Grimmauld Place.
Yeah, if anything, I struggled with Harry Potter's character the most in those later books. In the books specifically. In the movie, I was okay because they at least moved quickly enough. where I was able to just keep moving on. But yeah, angsty Harry in the books was so tough sometimes. I'm just like, get over it. You're the boy who lived. You're fine.
For me, the movie was like nothing happened. It took the entire movie for everybody to go, oh, he is back. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what he's been telling you the whole time. That was it.
Yeah, there really wasn't too much to it.
Yeah, and you could literally go watch the 4th movie, then go in the 5th movie, they realize that he's back, and then go to the 6th movie.
Right.
Terrence Clark says, I like I think that 6 got to. I like that in the 6th, Ron got to shine for a bit in the movies. Yes.
Yeah. Necrofilm liked Creature. Creature is pretty cool.
We're gonna pick some seams on here.
Dead Boy says, the 5th movie has one of my favorite actors playing one of my favorite modern literary characters, and I did not want to see him die. I don't know who you're referring to. I can't remember who dies when. By the time it gets to the 5th book, I'm like, everybody's dying. I can't keep track. They're all dead. It's Rogue One all over again.
It's Rogue One. Yeah, but at least in that one, you only have to watch one movie to watch everybody die.
That's true. Whenever it's Harry Potter night at the library, I go as Professor Lupin. Oh, cute! I love that. Jared was, he was really high this weekend, and at one point, I mean, I was too at some point, but anyway, so he put on this black wig, and I don't know what he was trying to do, but he totally looked like Snape, and I could not get it. It was so good, so funny. So we just kept talking like Snape throughout the rest of the night. Hi.
If you guys watched Friday's Trash Trapeze, Cucumber did a lot of some Snape impressions during the show. It was great.
This last Friday's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotta watch that. I missed it this week.
You missed the
Reed
best,
says
best episode. We had 9 people in the cast that day.
Dang!
It was our 50th episode.
Oh, how fun!
Or
That's
so
a
we
lot.
think, because somebody in the Discord said it was our 50th episode. So we went, okay, it's our 50th episode. So we
Ta-da!
we had nine people in the cast. It was great.
That's awesome. What did you guys do?
A play. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh,
Something about taking it or something. And
you did
Connie
Taken the play?
Connie and Chuck got a really good ASMR ubu moment during the show, which is great.
Okay, I'll have to watch it. Reed says, I've seen all the films and I know them and I know the books and I love being in the Wizarding World, but when we have these conversations of the films, I go blank. I do that too. There's something about it. Hi.
Connie says, you can't take it with you. That's what it was called.
Oh, okay.
The Ryan too.
Nice. Lupin and Nymphodora's death was one of the saddest. Yeah.
They were holding
That
hands
was-
when they were like laying in. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
sad.
that was a sad one. Okay, so I've got my letters on there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some stars on my painting. I'm going to do this with a little watery white. So what I'm doing is I'm mixing up some white paint and dipping in some water so I get this nice kind of milky consistency. And I'm going to splatter paint some of this white on there to create some stars. So I'm using my middle-sized brush, and for those of you who've never done this before, I'll just give you a little tutorial on how to best do it. So after you've got the paint on the brush, you're going to hold it upward, and you can do this two ways. You can either drag your finger across the top of it and kind of pull backward to flick the paintbrush and flick the paint onto the surface, and you do that all over your canvas. Or what I like to do is I take two fingers on this side and I just tap, and I repeatedly tap. That way I have a little bit more control on where I'm going with it, and I'm going to move that all throughout the canvas. Also keep your towel handy just in case if your water's just a little bit too, or if your paint is a little bit too watery, it might start dripping. So keep your towel handy, and you can just dab dry to fix any of those dripping moments.
Update on this fleece. It picks weird. So when you sew the fabric together, all the little fibers will kind of bend on each other because where you sew. So what you do is you go in with a needle or a pin and you kind of pick it out so that the fibers go stand up again. But this one, like, when you pick it, it changes the texture of the fleece. So it makes the fleece, like, where you pick it, like really fuzzy instead of like frizzy.
It looks like it's starting to pill or something.
Yeah, it looks different than the rest of the fleece.
Ugh. That's frustrating.
Yeah, well, yeah. Unfortunately, since puppet building is not a major industry, it's a very niche industry, no manufacturer is ever going to make fleece that works the way we want it to. So we just kind of take what we get.
It seems odd that that's the case.
Yeah.
But
Because the majority of
I mean,
these fleeces they're used for upholstery and other industries. We just kind of, the puppet builders find fleeces that work, and that's kind of always what it's been.
yeah,
They can't justify, saying, oh, we'll make this for puppet builders, because there really isn't that much of it.
how many are there?
Yeah.
What's interesting? When I was looking for materials to build my Plava Laguna diva costume for Halloween, I went to Joanne, and there's a whole line of cosplay, like materials and fabrics and stuff. And that was the first time I'd seen it, because I always thought of cosplay as pretty niche too. I always kind of designed for it when I was doing costume designs, but I thought that was kind of cool. It's a shame that there isn't something similar for puppeteering.
That'd be cool. Yeah, Joanne's has a cosplay section, and now Michael's does too. Michael's has a cosplay section, so there's like the foam you would use to make things, there's lights, it's a bunch of other things that are kind of cool.
Yeah. It's so crazy. You should do that, Art. Maybe that's what Perception grows into. You guys have your own line of puppetry felts and needles and stuff. And you already have the branding. You just put Perception puppets or something on there. And
yeah. You want to build good puppets? Use our needles.
Yeah. Looking for the perfect felted friend? Make one yourself.
I mean, that's what I always tell people. Learn to make them, because they're expensive to make.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you want to support your puppet building friends.
I mean, also that. If you want to pay me to build puppets, then yes.
Yeah.
But also know that they're really expensive.
What do we got there? Rocket for 3 says cosplay is gaining more mainstream attention. I've seen it at Michael's too. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I left Palamon almost 2 years ago. That's where I was designing costumes, and we kind of took our inspiration from cosplay because there was such a pull from it. It was still a little fringe at that point, but yeah, it's interesting to see how much it's picked up over the years. It's really kind of cool. But I could totally see a perception line. That would be awesome. Yeah, I think we need to do that. I think we need to find the felt that we love and the foam that we love and the threads and the needles, and then we could source all the eyes and the fur, and now my brain's turning. Okay. Thinking. Hi, Tracy. So yeah, there's our Deathly Hallows painting. Ta-da!
Yay.
Yeah, it's pretty. Like I said, gang, this is a fun like galaxy technique. You could seriously do this for anything, and then put a black silhouette on there. You could put another design. You could do whatever you want. And there's Ryan and Connie's. Nice work, gang.
Yeah, Connie was
So
telling me that
cute.
a second ago. I might give her a
I
second
love
to
it.
come back. There you go.
There it is.
Yay.
Yay! Nice work, guys. I love it.
All right. Well, that's it. We're done. And
Ta-da!
I got the whole top. You can't see it, but I got the whole top of this puppet
Oh,
stone.
art! It's beautiful.
Actually, hold on. Let me turn off my green screen.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Where am I?
Oh my gosh, Reed just says mass-produced cucumbers in chunks instead of a pin. That would be really cute. A little like felted cucumber stuffed animal. That'd be really fun.
What? Trust me, I've been working on trying to get that to be a thing. There I am. Yeah, definitely cucumber and chunk plushies. It definitely in the works. Where is it? There it is.
Dead Boy says needs more willow.
It's literally.
Oh, it's like
green.
the
It's
litter.
literally
It's,
green.
it's the color of the green screen.
It's just the body.
That's awesome.
I didn't get to the bottom yet because I messed this one up, so I have to fix the bottom. I cut my darts too big, so now I can't close it. So I have to like re-sew patches in there, but the top is fine.
Are you gonna patch? Are you gonna patch felt in those areas?
Yeah, I'm just gonna cut out triangles and then fill it in there. I got a little too trigger happy with my. I was really winging it. I was like, this much, this much. And
This is perfect.
This is good. It'll be fine. Nope, that's why you measure twice, cut once. Because now I have
That's
to
right.
go back and fix it.
Learn that mistake. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Hope you all have a great rest of your week. We will be back next week, working on the next couple months of painting ideas. So I don't know what we're doing just yet, but it'll be something fun.
Yeah. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow night at 7:30. Nope, at 7 o'clock. Nope, at 2 p.m. for the Gaming with Andrew, and then 7 p.m. for Solemn's Legacy. We really still need help with the partner push. I know it's been a long time, but Twitch has not said yes yet, and they keep saying, keep trying. We're gonna keep looking at you. And so come back Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for that partner push. 7 p.m. on Tuesdays, 7:30 p.m. on Wednesdays, and 7:30 on Friday nights. You're gonna have fun anyway, so as much as you can, we appreciate you guys being there, and we would love to have you guys there. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Yeah. Well, I'm not on the right screen. I can't say goodbye yet. Okay. Good night, everybody. See you later. Bye.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.